we are talking about AI today. Man, I love AI. It's everywhere. It does everything for me. My life is much easier. AI good in real estate, AI crappy in real estate. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. Everybody, it's Darin and Isaiah. Hi, Isaiah.
How's it going, Darin?
Hey, I want to welcome you, and I want to welcome you to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
For all things multifamily.
for all things multifamily, and we are talking about AI today. Man, I love AI. It's everywhere. It does everything for me. My life is much easier. What do you think? What do you think about AI?
It's fine.
You think it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just not as excited
You're
as
just
you
over-
are,
you're
and
just-
a lot of
the
people,
excitement's just
you know.
blowing me away here. And actually, I like your attitude because it's really what I want us to discuss today in this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about how good it is, but we're also going to talk about how crappy it is too. All right, here it comes. AI good in real estate, AI crappy in real estate. Here it comes on this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show. Here we go. All right, let's get into AI. And Isaiah, let's start with, is everyone like all in on AI pretty much?
No.
No?
No.
Who's not all in on AI?
Well, for starters, you just asked me, and I wasn't too excited. Like I know.
I mean, in general. So out
Okay.
there.
I stick by my answer. Yes and no.
Well, I can't open, so I get Wall Street Journal, I get a bunch of other publications. I can't open the publication or look at anything. There's at least one AI article in there somewhere. So it seems to me that everybody has really bought it. And I say everybody, of course, it's not everybody.
It's your world that you look into.
But most everybody's bought in on this AI. I'm on a call I could give you 100 examples. Every time I'm on a call, just use AI, just use AI. Okay. Guys, this is a problem, and I'm going to tell you why it's a problem. But before I do that, let me take a couple steps back, and let's talk about the world of multifamily and the world of real estate first, okay? How often are we using, I'm going to say, in my mind, there's two kinds of AI. One is software, okay? Whether it's cloud-based or whatever. And then there's the AI doing things for you outside of the software, which in my mind is spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so having said that, how often are you looking at and seeing, let's just call it AI software stuff in real estate?
Quite a bit now.
It's all over
Yeah.
the place. So all of our property management pretty much runs off of it. All of our units run off of it. We could snap a finger, punch a couple of buttons on a computer, on your phone, and we can pretty much find about any financial or what I'll call it referenced answer we need for our property, for operation. What about like prospects, Isaiah? So, we talk to a lot of apartment owners. We prospect apartment owners all the time. We got apartment owners calling us. Are we using kind of an AI-ish software to track all that?
Online, yes.
Yeah, we're using that too. So you guys get the point. In a lot of areas, AI is great. So we use it for really what I call reference point tracking. We need to find an answer, a contact right away, a resident information right away, a utility bill right away, all those kinds of things pretty quick. But let me tell you where it's really, really lacking. And I find a lot of people are doubling down, not only, of course, on the reference side, which I think is good. We just talked about that, but also on the personal side of things, which I think can be very problematic. Were you here last week when we had everything videoed?
Yeah, I heard the video going on.
Okay, all right. So just to give you guys some context to what my question was to Isaiah is a little bit over a week and a half ago, we had Videographer come in, do the videos of all the properties, drone footage, all that kind of stuff to, set our properties apart when we're doing our marketing and advertising, seeing that, potential prospects and our current residents too, see we've got a pretty good thing going on here with our properties. Okay, so you guys get where I'm at and why we did that. Well, one of the things, did you know that they interviewed me? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. Wanted to be part of the process is to have me being interviewed, ask me a handful of questions, 8 to 10 questions, and I had the questions prepared, by the way, in terms of how I think we do things differently and we are different from the competition. They call that out there in the marketing world unique selling proposition. So I wanted to have some time with our videographer about that. I think you knew that that was going on too. Okay, so videographer gets here, he's setting up, got my questions ready. And before I get my questions, I said, "Oh, hey, I have your question. I have questions ready to go." I'm like, "Really?" Pressed, like mentally. I'm like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, I got questions ready to go." I said, "All right, that sounds good. Let's go. I'm impressed. You got questions ready. You're prepared. Let's do it." And so I won't go into what the questions specifically were, but at the third question, I knew that they were not generated by him. They were generated by what? What do you think?
Probably ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, exactly. So the third question was something like, when you look at your apartment communities and the impact they have on the local economy and the et cetera, how do you feel about it? You get the point. It was like one of those kind of questions. And I'm thinking, I don't think you came up with that question. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, like after the third question, I said, based on the questions you've asked me so far and, doing research on our company, what we're about, what we do, how we do it, how did you come up with your questions?" You know what he said to me?
Oh, AI.
Specifically,
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. I knew it. I knew that AI was being used on me. It was very obvious based on the questions he was asking me. He didn't come up with them. There wasn't authenticity with his questions. There wasn't any research done with his questions. And I could feel it. I could sense it. And by the way, when it comes up with you, similar examples, you can too. When it comes up with you, you can too. You know when AI is being used on you. You know when it is. You can feel it. Why? Because there's no authenticity with it. Do you need authenticity to crunch a spreadsheet? No. But do you need authenticity when it comes to personally communicating thoughts, feelings, emotions with people?
Yes.
200%. So guys, understand this. Understand that even with AI being the all things to all people, holy grail of where we're going, there's a lot of work to do here. There's a shit ton of work to do here because there's no authenticity with AI. None. And so when it comes to our apartment communities, for example, can you see AI replacing any of our property managers?
I mean, like 30 years, like Terminator years. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you're
not the next, not the next
you're
10
talking
years.
like cyborg robo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched a movie a couple of weeks ago, but it was about in the future. Basically, there's like robots, basically humanoid robots, cyborgish robots running the show. They're doing your laundry, they're mowing your yard, they're watching your kids, all that kind of crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something like that going on, maybe. But even still, do you think that there's authenticity, feeling,
No.
emotion, and things that you really need to communicate effectively, profitably, empathetically with people? No, it doesn't exist at all. Going back to you said, yeah, maybe Terminator, maybe that's when we'd see it. But the bottom line
But other
is,
than that,
no way. You think about all of the, I'll just say, directions that one of our property managers go, the directions our property managers go every day with what they're dealing with. Questions, communication, new resident, current resident, issues, problems, you name it. With our maintenance technicians, talking with me, communicating with you, on and on. You guys get the picture, right? It would be stupid to think right now, especially, that you can I'm going to yank Alicia out of the Wildwood Apartments, and I'm just going to hook up an AI machine and then there we go. Plus, think of all the money I'll save. Oh man, just think I can replace that with the money I'll save. I'm replacing all. Guys, it is not that easy. It is not that easy. And you don't want to think it's that easy, because one of the worst phrases that you want to avoid is this: all I have to do. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
You've told me this multiple times in my life, and you usually end up being correct.
All I have to do is like the worst phrase you can ever come up with. Okay? Because with AI, what is everybody telling you? Hey, Darin, all you have to do. Isaiah, all you have to do. Just plug it in, you're going, and And, there's a part of us that wants it to be that easy, by the way. There is. There's a part of us that wants it to be that easy. Bottom line is it's not. Okay. So you got to get rid of the all I have to do mentality for a lot of reasons. But with what we're talking about in this episode, especially with AI being able to do most everything outside of the technological crunching and getting you quick answers on stuff. Okay. That human interaction, that authenticity is huge. Then there's our maintenance technicians. Okay. So imagine we're not, Julie in apartment 12 has an AC problem. Her sink is backed up. And oh, by the way, her carpet kind of smells. She wonders what's going on with that. Okay. So she puts in a work order. Imagine,
Tesla robot
coming to the door. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, guys. Because sure, maybe AI can diagnose something, but what you need for communication, what you need not only to communicate with residents, you need to communicate with managers. Hell, you need to communicate with you and I to do all that. You just can't send a text. You just can't send an email. There's more authenticity, feeling, emotion, and what some people call humanness needed in order to be able to do it the best way you can do it. Because look, defaulting to AI to handle everything, like I said, it sounds awesome. Hey guys, a lot of people contact me and want to know where are the best resources when it comes to investing in multifamily? Where can I go? And the obvious answer is DarinGarman.com. 99.9% of all of the items on the website are absolutely free. Start making that multifamily investment that you've been thinking about a great reality. Okay, you know what? Let's just not deal with any team member issues, problems, benefits, et cetera, all the things we got to do. Let's just plug a machine into the outlet and let's just let it take care of everything. Sounds tempting. It is very, very problematic. So where am I going with all of this besides really Isaiah and I telling you something you already pretty much know? And regarding AI, not only when it comes to real estate in our multifamily world, but also, in probably parts of your personal life too. One thing I'll just emphasize is you want to get rid of the all you have to do line in thinking. It's got to go further than that, okay? The second thing is this. Before you put your foot on the AI accelerator and really just go to town as fast as you can. I'm not saying you don't want to research it. I'm not saying you don't want to check it out. I'm not saying you don't want to test it and you want to do all that. But tap the brakes a little bit in the multifamily world, especially when it comes to using AI in authentic human interaction. Let me throw another thing at you, Isaiah. You also work on selling apartment buildings, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just got done recently selling about $1 million property, right? How would that have gone down if we would have just plugged an AI machine into the wall and had that happen? How do you think with all the ups and downs of that deal, everything that was going on all the time, especially up to the last minute, which all real estate transactions have that, how do you think AI would have handled that?
It would have done like the 1980s robot TV show, when the robots like explode because it's overthinking so much.
It makes that noise and all of a sudden smoke comes out.
That's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And so that was a great example of how many humanness things we needed there. Sure, we sent emails and texts and did that. But did you have AI draft any emails for you? During that? No, you need authentic freaking communication. You can't have AI and whatever draft stuff for you when you want to have authentic impact on the people that you're working with. Now, here's the problem with what we've just gone over, Isaiah. There's going to be a lot of people there thinking, come on, guys, you're down on AI, man. Mm-hmm. Why are you so down on AI? It's where we're going. It's what we're doing. Whether you like it or not, man, we're going to AI. That's what's going to happen. And by the way, I don't disagree with that. I think we're heading that direction probably faster than any of us think. But what is it that we want to keep in mind, Isaiah, as we, not only in real estate, but also our personal life, what are some of the things that need to stay intact and will probably always need to be intact in order for us to be the best versions of ourselves? What do you think it is?
That authenticity.
100%. That A word, authenticity. Guys, it's what when we communicate, it's what we look for. It's when you and I communicate, that's what we look for. You look for the same thing. We know when AI is being used on us. We do. Don't lose sight of the fact that you need that authenticity all of the time. Don't just hire the authenticity and let somebody else, I'll put it this way, don't delegate your authenticity. Don't do it. It'll be a huge, huge problem if you do, just for the sake of using that mindset of all I have to do. Isaiah, any last things you want to mention regarding AI, real estate?
No, I think you hit both sides pretty well, because like even with us, we're still learning. Like all we got to do is, with this Excel sheet, we can put it into this software, and then it will do this, which is great. Like
Abracadabra.
Yeah, really optimizing our time to do simple stuff like that as small as possible. But you're right about the authenticity of like our managers. I know you hire a lot of managers that they may not be able to pick up the software we have right away, but they're really good with people, and they're really good with problem solving with the tenants and working with us. So I think that authenticity goes quite a ways further than that AI will carry it.
Yeah, 100%. And so, guys, again, coming full circle, two things. All right. Number one, we are not anti-AI. We want to keep using and leveraging it as much as we can to make all of the experiences that, people that I'll just say it this way, people that we connect with, we want to have the best experiences for them as much as possible. But number two, you can't lose sight of the fact that authenticity is not only needed, it's necessary. Your authenticity, their authenticity is needed and necessary, because you can always tell when AI is being used on you, and nobody wants that to be used on them. Isaiah, thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much for being with me on this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
for all things multifamily.
For all things multifamily. We'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye. If you want to get your hands on more great multifamily real estate content, make sure you click here. If you want to invest passively in great multifamily real estate, make sure you click here.